Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with the top 5 best PC hardware deals of the week. As always, I was able to scrounge up a few really good deals, so let's get right into this with number 5. Number 5, over on Newegg, they've got a sale going on a bunch of refurbished products. A monitor that caught my eye was the Acer H23 6HL Black 23-inch monitor. It's a 1080p monitor with a 5 millisecond response time, and it's down to $80, which is a really solid price for a 1080p monitor. Yes, it is refurbished, but personally speaking, I've bought refurbished products from Newegg before and I've never had an issue, and they've got a really good return policy. So it being refurbished isn't a real big deal, but what is a big deal is the price. $80 is an absolute steal for a 1080p monitor. And as far as connections go, you've got a VGA port, a DVI port, and an HDMI port. So a pretty nice monitor for a very cheap price. Would definitely pick this up if you're on a budget, and 1080p is still the standard that most gamers are looking to play at. And this is a very nice monitor. Obviously, it is 60 Hz. At this price, you're not going to get anything more than that, but definitely a good monitor to start out with. Moving on to number 4, the CORSAIR CX450 450 watt 80 plus bronze certified power supply. It's also modular, is down to $50, and there's a $20 mail-in rebate knocking it down to $30. So the real key of this deal is after you use the mail-in rebate. If you just buy it flat, $50 for a 450 watt power supply isn't that great, but $30 for it? Hell yeah, that's really good. And it's modular, so cable management is going to be a breeze. And if you're looking to buy a power supply to add in a pre-existing computer, this is going to be really nice. The fact that it is modular is going to be really nice as well, because on those HP and Dell pre-built computers, the case isn't going to give you a lot of options for cable management. So getting something like this is really nice, and $30 after the mail-in rebate, it's a solid power supply that's going to be able to power most GPUs, even something like an RX 470. This is going to be perfectly fine for that. Moving on, G.SKILL Ripjaws V-Series 8GB, 2 4GB sticks. This is DDR4 RAM at 2400 MHz. RAM prices have been crazy, but this is down to $59 on Newegg, which isn't an exceptionally great deal, but $59 is the cheapest I've seen for quality 8GB of RAM in a little bit, so definitely would recommend this. I've been seeing RAM prices as high as like $70, $75 for 8GB of RAM. That's just absolutely crazy. Hopefully we see RAM prices slowly creep back down. Would love to see 8GB of RAM at like $50, but $59, that'll have to do. And yeah, I've been talking about that recently, and you guys have been hitting me up on Twitter on why our RAM price is crazy. Don't have an answer for you, but $59 is as good of a deal as you're gonna get. Finally, the last 2 deals are on video cards. First of all, you've got the XFX Radeon RX 480, the 8GB model. It's $220, and there's a $30 mail-in rebate knocking it down to $190. So 8GB RX 480 for under $200. Definitely a good deal. This one also comes with a free copy of Doom, which was, in my opinion, one of the best PC games of 2016. So that's definitely a nice inclusion. And a game, if nothing else, it can showcase the power of the RX 480, and the 8GB model is nice to have. Personally, I do like just picking up the 4GB model, because if you have a GPU at the level of a 480, having that extra 4GB isn't going to come into play that often. However, I know some of you guys do want to get the 8GB model, and if you are one of those people, this is as good of a deal as you're going to get. You get it for less than $200, you get a free game that's really good. Can't ask for much more than that. And as far as performance goes, it does really well. At 1080p, it excels at just about any game, and at 1440p, it will struggle with some of the higher end games, but being that this is the 8GB model, that'll help. And it can push some games at 1440p, just don't expect to play the highest end games maxed out at 60 FPS. Finally, number 1 is the MSI GeForce GTX 1080, also an 8GB video card, but obviously much more higher end than the 480. These GPUs have been going down in price since the release of the 1080 Ti. Right now, this 1080 is available for $500, and it's got a $30 mail-in rebate knocking it down to $470. Along with that, you also get a free copy of either For Honor or Ghost Recon Wildlands, so a very nice GPU. Primarily, if you're looking to do 1440p gaming or 4K, that's where you're going to want to pick up a GTX 1080. If you're just looking to game at 1080p, wouldn't really go with a 1080 unless you've got a 144Hz monitor, then a 1080 might come into play and it'll be pretty nice. However, if you've got a 60Hz 1080p monitor, a 1080 is going to be way overkill. But I know a lot of you guys are looking to pick up a 1080. They've been dramatically going down in price, and $470 for this MSI model that's really nice is a very good deal, along with a free copy of For Honor or Ghost Recon Wildlands. Not a bad deal at all if you're looking for a higher end GPU. So that's gonna wrap up this video, guys. As always, thanks for watching. If you have a request for a future video, you can leave it in the comments section down below, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.